Hello everyone, my name is Lily and I'm the creative director here at Bubblegum Cartoons, and today I'm going to be animating the final part of Sophie's Picnic Panic, which is an accompanying short that goes with our original web series, Demonic Crepes, which we are making here on YouTube. Today I'm animating her just kind of like flopping down in her big beautiful dress, and she's going to be commenting on how they saved the day only for the thunder and clouds to roll in and ruin everybody's day. So there is, this is obviously rough so far, there's no lip syncing yet, so this is mostly just like the motion, then I'm going to do the lip syncing later. And while I do this, I'm going to be answering some of the questions that have come up lately. So we're going to start off with the big one that you guys wanted me to go over some more. I know I've answered this in the past, but a lot of you guys have been commenting with like your story pitches and all that fun stuff, and you guys telling me, which is so sweet, that you guys are starting your own web series, especially like with your friends and stuff like that, and that is so totally awesome. So a lot of you guys have been asking me, how do you make a web series? And of course for me this is a learn as you go kind of process. I just kind of had like the time and resources to do it, so I did. Obviously it's not like as simple as that, but I never really had a YouTube channel like to look up to really. I just kind of had this show I really wanted to make, and I just made it in my free time. So I'm going to jump into the 5 steps to kind of like going about making your own series. So the first thing is to have a simple pitch. I know especially the pitches you guys have been commenting, you guys get so excited, and I have too, about getting into the lore of the world and like how everything connects and how like magic works and how like every single person reacts to every single thing and all the rules behind ancient runes and curses, and that is wonderful, but just start with something simple. Like you can get all into that stuff later. I know I didn't really get to know my world until a little bit later, sorts of things, like even it wasn't even a magical girl like show until like halfway through the pilot, and then I'm like, hey, you know what I really want to make is a magical girl show, something that like has tropes but also subverts said tropes and all that fun stuff. So your story is going to grow. You're going to get to know the characters better. Just start off with a simple log line. The one for Demonic Crepes, I believe, is when a young comic artist, manga artist, moves to Japan, her life becomes a little more difficult when her demon cat's enemies come back for revenge. So just like really simple. I wanted a girl to move to Japan because I had such a lovely time studying abroad. It was kind of like a love letter to Japan. So I just like had this girl who moves to Japan. There is a sardonic cat. She's fluffy. He's like literally fluffy, but he's also a demon. So I loved the polarizing the personalities between the two, and I wanted to play with that, and I wanted to like have it be in Japan, and I wanted like monster attacks, and I wanted it to be like, you know, like flower girl power kind of thing, but also to be funny and not take itself overly seriously. I wanted it to be fantasy. So just simple, girls moves to Japan, and then there's a demon cat. She's cute, he's also cute, but scary. Keep it simple. You'll get to know your characters and expand your universe later. So make characters you would love to watch. You're going to spend a lot of time with these characters, so make them people that you want to watch, and if you want to watch, maybe some other people would want to watch. Like I said, you're going to get to know them a lot over the course of the show, but have some core things down. If you guys want to ask yourself some questions about them, ask, you know, are they, like, you can ask really simple questions, not like, oh my gosh, like, are they nice? Are they not nice? Ask things like, do they like to hoard objects, or would they rather purge objects? Are they a tidy person? Are they an untidy person? Do they like spicy food? Like tiny things that like real people like you or your friends would know or do, or like certain behaviors like that. Or make, one of my favorite things to do is like make a situation, like put 2 characters in the same one, but see how they reacted differently. Are people impulsive? Are they bold? Are they shy? How do they react to things? Are they fight or flight? Things like this. You're going to learn a lot about them. Number 3 is to be realistic with your show. I've been working on Demonic Crepes for over 3 going on 4 years now, and the pilot still has not premiered. I have worked on this for so long, and it's been in like the works even before then. Like when I was in college, I worked on the comic for this, and then I decided I wanted to make it a show because I wanted to get to know these characters better. So please be realistic that this could go years unpaid, and just be realistic with the time you have, with the resources you have, and all those kinds of things. Number 4 is plan how you're gonna go about this. So the pilot is gonna be obviously like your first step. Like my pilot's about 6 minutes long. It doesn't have to be, like a half an hour like they are on TV, just something to really entice people, So my plan was to make a YouTube channel and kind of show you guys like behind the scenes of how to make a cartoon show, because I never had that growing up, and now with the wonderful age of the internet, you guys can totally see that. I also did this to draw in an audience, so when I do release the pilot finally, there will be actually an audience who's been anticipating it, not just like releasing it into like, nowhere. I used to make like special videos dedicated to like talking about the show, but I realized that it took away from actually making the show, so I decided to do speed animate so I could, 2 birds, 1 stone. I could talk about the show while showing you guys exactly my workday. Also plan how you're gonna do your animation. If you're not an animator yourself, who's gonna animate your show? I personally animated this all by myself, which is not very realistic. It's a pretty unusual thing. It's not as easy as I make it look. I know, especially with these speed animates, it's like zoom, she just zooms right through it. These are about 5 to 8 hour days, and it's the most fun you'll ever have. But it's about a 5 to 8 hour day to do something as simple as someone sitting down. So again, be realistic, plan how you'll go about this. I personally use Toon Boom, and these backgrounds were made in Photoshop. I have not touched Photoshop in about a year. So yeah, I do all Procreate now on the iPad. Number 5 is cheesy, but have fun. This is supposed to be fun. It's not always gonna be fun, but like, this is the whole reason you're doing this, is to express yourself and have this amazing, wonderful freedom to make your own world, your own characters. And if you're not having fun, then like, what the heck was the whole point of this? I've had so much fun at Demonic Crepes. It makes me feel like I'm doing something that's worthy, and like I have time to like create for myself. This is like a personal project of mine that I've really, really, really enjoyed, and the joy is the first forefront of my show. It's not, ego or getting, a large number of followers, or because goodness knows I have not a lot of followers. But I do appreciate everyone who comes back week after week. I see you guys in the comments. Have fun with this. This should be a great joy. It's the reason you're doing it, not to like, I don't know, create a huge impression on the world. I don't know if Demonic Crepes will make a huge impression on the world, but it made a big impression on me, and I learned so much from this. All right, and on to the other questions. So number 2 comes from Pro Comics on Patreon. Thank you so much for the question. Were you always into cartoons, and was your family always into cartoons? So my family could kind of take it or leave it with cartoons. I've always loved cartoons. Growing up, we were very, very censored. I wasn't really allowed to watch any cartoons that didn't have any educational enrichment to it. So we weren't allowed to watch any cartoons that were just for entertainment purposes. So we only watched PBS. And yeah, my family wasn't a big fan of cartoons. They liked them when they were kids, but didn't really care. I was the only Disney freak in the family. Number 3, will Demonic Crepes have an ending song? Yes, it will. Number 4, what do you use to animate? I use Toon Boom, and occasionally I've been dabbling into Procreate, but I don't ever use it for anything for the show. Number 5, will there be any more Sailor Moon references other than the trailer? And yes, this whole kind of show kind of just oozes Sailor Moon vibes, but not quite as much with the whole into the Negaverse and all that kind of stuff. Just more just magical girl stuff. Maybe there'll be an occasional Luna reference or something like that. Number 6, will you give a tutorial on backgrounds? And maybe, if you guys would really like to see it. I'm not a professional whatsoever when it comes to backgrounds. I think I've improved a lot since especially doing the pilot and stuff like that. So if you guys are super curious, I can show you how I make Sophie's apartment or set dress or something like that. It's just kind of honestly one of my least favorite parts of making the show. I learned a lot though. I just hated drawing gray buildings of Tokyo, so I just made it pastel because I felt like it. So yeah, I can totally go into that and doing a background tutorial if you guys want, but like I said, I'm not the best at backgrounds. Number 7, how long does it take to animate? And this is a very loaded question because while, the pilot took years to make, I wasn't animating every single second of every single day of those 3 years. I work part-time at a major entertainment company, and so on my days off, I would kind of make this. But typically, if I get like a really, really good animation day, I can sit down from 5 to 8 hours a day. And that's just a really fun day for me to just play around with the characters and animate and all that good stuff. So about like 8 hours a day, like a regular job, I would sit down, animate a scene. Literally, just Sophie sitting down is an entire day. And that is it for our questions today. Thank you everyone who asked me a question. I hope this kind of helped you out with being realistic about making your series and all that good stuff. I hope you felt inspired. I hope you feel ready to make your series, because I know you can do it. If you got like the dream, you got the talent, you got the time, you can totally do it. Shout out to our patrons on Patreon, Impro Comics, Javier Mendez, Justin R. Williams, Nadir, and Nico Weaver. Thank you guys all for being here. I really appreciate your support. It's totally wicked. If you guys like to be a patron, go on over to our Patreon page. We have really fun rewards, like hand-drawn sketches that are sent to your mailbox every single month. And until next time, guys, stay inspired.